You've felt it, haven't you? That moment when you said yes to something, to someone, and your soul, your energy, your time, it all just slipped away like sand through your fingers. You've carried the weight of it for days, weeks, maybe even years. The quiet, creeping resentment of always being the one who says yes, even when your heart screams no. But what if I told you that saying no isn't just a response, it's a revolution, a simple yet profound shift that could transform your life, your relationships, and the way you perceive your worth? Stay with me, because today we're uncovering the hidden power of no and how it changes everything. Trust me, this will change your life. The burden of constant yes. Let's be real for a moment. You've been there. The person who always says yes. You say yes to your boss, yes to your friends, yes to your family, even when it stretches you thin. You're exhausted, yet you keep going, thinking you have to. After all, isn't that what's expected of you? But in the quiet moments, you feel a gnawing emptiness, because deep down, you know you're losing something precious. When you say yes to others all the time, you say no to yourself. You give away your time, your energy, your peace, and in return, what do you get? More obligations, more stress, and the growing sense that you've lost control of your own life. Psychologist Viktor Frankl, in his landmark work, Man's Search for Meaning, spoke about the importance of finding meaning in life. He said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. What Frankl understood is that saying yes all the time robs you of that space. The power of choice slips through your fingers. The result? You feel like you're living a life dictated by others, not by yourself. But what if you could reclaim that space? What if you could step into your power and finally say no when it matters most? The consequence of always pleasing. We live in a society that praises the people pleasers, those who can't seem to say no. It's almost as if we're taught that saying yes equals kindness, goodness, and success. But does it really? Every yes you give when you don't mean it is like a piece of yourself slipping away. And yet you continue to smile, to nod, to agree. But deep inside, something starts to shift. The resentment builds. The anxiety creeps in. Your body begins to scream for relief, but you keep ignoring it. This is a pattern, and it's destructive. It's a defense mechanism, rooted in fear of rejection and a deep-seated belief that your worth is determined by what others think of you. It's the need to be liked, accepted, and validated by others at the expense of your own identity. But here's the truth. People-pleasing is not love. It's not kindness. It's fear masquerading as something virtuous. Sigmund Freud, one of the most influential psychiatrists in history, said, "We are what we are because we have become what we are through a lifetime of choices and experiences." What Freud was pointing to is that your need to please others is the product of many unconscious decisions made over time. Each yes reinforces your belief that your value is attached to others' approval. But what happens when you stop pleasing? What if you could create boundaries that protect your true self? What if you could give yourself the same grace, the same understanding, the same compassion that you offer everyone else? The freedom in saying no. Imagine this. You're standing at the crossroads of your life, faced with two paths. One path leads to a future defined by endless obligations, with your needs always taking a back seat. The other path leads to freedom, the ability to say no when you need to, without guilt, without shame, without fear. What does that freedom look like? It's not just about rejecting demands from others. It's about reclaiming your energy, your time, and your mental space. It's about choosing who gets access to your precious life force. It's about embracing the reality that your no is a statement of your value, your self-respect, and your emotional health. When you say no, you're not just closing a door. You're opening one to something more meaningful. You're making space for what truly matters. Your peace, your growth, your joy. And here's the thing. The more you say no, the more you realize just how little of your energy should be spent on things that don't align with your core values. You start to notice the relationships that drain you, the commitments that rob you of your joy, and you begin to make different choices. The no you say today creates the life you will live tomorrow. Overcoming the fear of saying no. But let's not sugarcoat it. Saying no isn't easy. You might feel guilt, shame, or even fear. Fear of being judged, of disappointing someone, or of losing a relationship. But let me ask you this. What's the cost of staying silent? What's the cost of saying yes when your heart says no? This fear is normal. It's human. But it's also something that can be broken down, piece by piece. Carl Rogers, a key figure in humanistic psychology, taught that the path to true personal growth involves authenticity, being true to yourself regardless of what others expect. In his words, the curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change. In other words, when you say no, you're not just rejecting others, you're accepting yourself. You're giving yourself permission to change, to grow, to evolve into the person you were always meant to be. Saying no isn't about being rude or selfish. It's about honoring your boundaries. It's about protecting your mental health and your emotional space. It's about knowing that your value is not tied to how much you do for others. It's tied to who you are. The power of no in relationships. Let's talk about relationships for a moment. Whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, or a family dynamic, boundaries are essential. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the demands of a relationship, you know the toll it can take. You give, and yet it never feels like enough. What if saying no could change that? What if you could express your needs honestly, without fear of rejection or abandonment? What if you could protect your energy without guilt? Saying no is the first step to establishing healthy, balanced relationships. It's the moment you stop sacrificing yourself for others and start building connections based on mutual respect. When you learn to say no, you teach others how to treat you, how to value you, and how to respect your boundaries. And yes, sometimes this will feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is often the sign that something is shifting, something is changing. And that change? It's the key to healthier, more fulfilling relationships. So, here's your challenge. The next time someone asks something of you that you don't want to give, say no. It's not just a word. It's a boundary. It's a declaration of your worth. It's the first step toward reclaiming your energy, your time, and your life. Remember, every no you say today will open the door to the life you deserve tomorrow. You are worthy of peace, of rest, and of true connection. And the power to protect that begins with a single word: no. If you felt empowered by this message, if you're ready to take back control of your life, then hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below about how you plan to start saying no, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. You are not here to live by the rules of others. You are here to write your own story, and it starts with you.